Well, I think it's a balance issue. If you're not grateful for air that you breathe, just to be uh, basic, uh, we don't really create anything much. It's just already here. So being grateful, I think, aligns us with the universe the way it is, and that's where joy is, in my case. Well, I think I'm what you would call a recovering narcissist. At about 32, I came to an awareness that it wasn't all about me. Now that could be considered a late bloomer, but I figured I sowed all my wild oats in my 20s and early 30s, and from there on it's been nothing but gratitude just for surviving that alone, that period of narcissistic rebellion, alcohol, drug-induced lifestyle that's, not many people come out on the other side of that. And that's the basis, starting at probably 32, that I became aware that I was grateful just to be here. Yeah, I have a ritual, and I never know when it's going to happen, usually between 4 and 6 in the morning. I meditate and pray, and I contact my higher self that is God, and I'm fine with whatever somebody has their own opinion or not, or no religion, however, but I do meditate and I pray to a higher power that I believe is in charge of the creation, although I feel that we are co-creators. But to get in touch with that source is a balancing thing. That way I'm very aware of what needs to change, and what I could do myself is limited if I don't go within and talk to the higher self regularly, probably 6 mornings a week. Yeah, because I know there are others that are busy in their daily lives, and they probably don't have a ritual. And I think that, you think it gets people away from thinking about themselves. Yeah, I think it's important, right?
But Thanksgiving is not really much different from you in terms of thinking about gratitude. It's just you're grateful year round.
Yeah, the giant meal I could actually go without it, because I have very little discipline when it comes to that kind of thing. But but the gratitude of just daily existence, because I think Earth is a learning lab, and we're here to learn. And that's another thing. Once I understood that that was not optional, the gratitude of just having the ability to learn, because I think we work way below our aptitude on what our capacity to learn and produce and create. That's another thing. In my opinion, all the creativity is within, that it'll come out, and we don't have to really force it. In fact, in my case, the times I've forced anything photographically or musically, it doesn't work well. I'm grateful for having a good job. I'm in a beautiful, loving wife that works with me. She and I have been working together for about 30 years. That's a big deal. And having a roof over my head. We've lived in the same house for 15 years, and we sold it. Now we've lived in this one for 14. And I'm very grateful that there's money to make the house payment, and the car payment, and to pay taxes, and health insurance. That's huge. When you're self-employed, if you're not grateful, then you know something that I don't know. Okay. Just being self-employed for 45 years or so, gratitude plays a big part in that, because I think it keeps the door open. And I don't take anything for granted, especially these days. Yeah, this is a good community. This community, it's easy to live here, and I'm grateful. There were community leaders here. Now, I grew up during segregation, so it was different, and I'm actually grateful that doesn't exist anymore. But the way I was raised in our community, you had many options in a town the size of Anderson. I mean, there was everything you wanted to do here, believe it or not. And I really never ran into any serious negative situations around here. There was a this and that side of the tracks when I was coming along, and one had to learn how to navigate that. And then I made friends in all different socioeconomic areas. I'm grateful for that. And my wife has that same ability to be able to communicate with anybody and not be intimidated nor try to be a control freak. Take time during the day to stop and pray. Thank whatever your God of your understanding is for being able to breathe air. That's the basic thing, because when that stops, nothing else matters. So the basics of just your heart beating stop daily. In fact, I'm reading a book about how to change your brain chemistry, and the happy chemicals come when we practice happiness, and that's technically joy, and joy is from within. That comes from gratitude, in my opinion. It opens the door. It's one and the same in a lot of ways, but the door is open by being grateful to move forward in a zone where pleasure can come and go, but you don't pursue pleasure because you've got joy. And being a changed person from long ago, I didn't know the difference. And once you understand the difference between pleasure and the joy is within, comes from gratitude, and when pleasure comes, you can enjoy it because it goes away, but the joy stays. Well, I'm grateful for the people that came before us, and I had a granddad that did say your word is your bond. When you tell somebody something, say do it, and say why you can't get back with them, and to tell the truth, and that is just easier to be straight up. And I'm grateful I know that on the inside, because I grew up and went through the same junior high as most people did here, and during that period, the truth was whatever would work. But just trying to be straight up I'm grateful that I know the difference. I'm grateful that there's actually a movement that I can see to better the community, and it starts with 5-year-olds. You got to communicate to them that there's a road that's easier. I think that serving can engender gratitude that maybe wasn't there before, because you see people that do a lot of service, the same people that do it, and I think that's their form. Saying you're giving back to the community is a misnomer, in my opinion, because you didn't take anything from the community. But that's all right if somebody wants to feel that they're giving back. But I think the community is a live organism, and I think giving does create gratitude. Yeah, it's a circle.